Hello. I just, this is my second attempt at recording this because the first time I mentioned where I lived. So I had to stop and do it again. And I'm sort of laughing at myself because basically all I was talking about was how grumpy I feel. And it just made me feel even more grumpy. So I'm now kind of laughing at myself. So that's helping a bit. But yeah, you know how some days you just wake up in the morning and you just feel really grumpy for no good reason at all. Just really, really, really grumpy. Well, that's how I feel today. I have no idea why. If you keep hearing that funny noise, it's because I've got a clip in my hair. It keeps clinging against the... So sorry about that. I've no idea why I feel so grumpy. Really, there's no reason at all. There's lots of little niggly things happening, but nothing major. I really have no excuse. You know, my life's quite good, really. But yeah, really grumpy. So this morning I had to go over to the next town along, and I was going to take some footage, and I was going to, show some little bits, and I was just too grumpy. I just didn't want to film anything. Didn't want to engage. Didn't want to go, look where I am, or anything. So I thought I can't fake it. So I didn't film anything. It's a shame really because it's a pretty place, but no, didn't feel up to it. So I'm back home now. I really, really, really need to do my college work. And I know it's just not going to happen today. Because I'm too grumpy. I'm just not feeling it today at all. And because I'm going to my partner's tonight, that means I won't do it this evening and I won't do it tomorrow morning because I won't be back until the end of the day tomorrow. So I won't do it tomorrow night either, which means Sunday, I've got Sunday and Monday to get it done. I hate leaving it that late. But I am just not in the right headspace to do it today, and I really need to be in the right headspace to do it. And I think I've come to the conclusion that really I need to just have a nap. See if that solves the problem. See if that'll make me slightly less grumpy. I'm sure my partner would be very appreciative if I turn up at his and I'm like, oh. That wouldn't do good, would it? So, look, I've been holding my camera wonky all this time as well. Look, it's better, isn't it? So yeah, I haven't really got anything else to tell you. I had thought about doing my soap today, but I'm too tired. I'm still tired. I'm still tired from yesterday. Well, from the previous 2 days. I'm still recovering, if you like. And then having had to go out this morning. It's about a half-hour drive. I had an appointment, which I'd forgotten about. It's a good job I put all these alarms on my camera, on my calendar. So yeah, I came home, sat down, thought, well, I'll do a bit of knitting. And then thought, do you know, I don't even feel like doing that. Oh, that's the other thing, perhaps that was one of the annoying things. So I did say I'd found a really lovely pattern, which I wanted to use my pink yarn for. So I got the pattern out, and I got the yarn out, and I weighed how much I'd got, and then I measured out 10 meters and weighed that, and then worked out from that how many meters I had. So I had 1600. I've got 1600 meters of this pink yarn, but it's more of a sport weight than a double DK. So I looked at it and I just thought, oh, the pattern I wanted to do is a DK pattern, and so I'm not going to be able to do that because I wouldn't be able to get gauge without making it so much bigger that I don't think I'd actually have enough yarn. So that was a bit annoying. I need to think of something else to do with that one. And then I mentioned the other day that I wanted to do a jumper by Penrose Knits, and I found out the name. It's the Chunky Souffle jumper. and that's the one that's got the sort of ruffle round the top, around the yoke top. Anyway, I looked at my yarn. My yarn is Aran, and the jumper calls for Chunky, so I can't do that either. So then I was like trawling through all my patterns, trawling through my books, trawling through Ravelry, and I'm just not finding anything that floats my boat in the same way as these two patterns do, that the yarn is the wrong size for. So back to the drawing board really with both of those. What I'm thinking I might do is do a souffle style jumper, but use just an ordinary yoke pattern sweater, and then just add a, without actually doing a yoke pattern, obviously, just doing it plain, yoke sweater, and then adding in the ruffle at the bottom of the yoke. So I might give that a go and see. I can always, if I get one that I knit from the top down, then I can always do the yoke part and try it out and see, and then I've not committed myself too much if I don't like it. But I don't know what I'm going to do with the pink yarn. I was looking for ages, and I think I spent so much time sort of looking yesterday, I gave myself a headache, so that didn't help either. Oh, by the way, this is Steve. It's a bit wonky. I've squished him. This is Steve, and he sleeps on my bed with me. I only have a couple of cuddly toys, but I do rather like them. He's very wonky, isn't he? He's a good wash as well. You're looking a bit grubby, Steve. You are. Face looking a bit grubby, isn't he? And I'll just show you my other cushion. It's this one. I actually bought this cushion, and it was just printed on. You can see where the leaves are. You can see the printing and the tree trunk itself. And while I was still in bed and not able to get out when I was very ill with COVID, this is what I did with. I listened to Lord of the Rings on audio book, and I embroidered all these bits on this cushion. I'm really pleased with the way it came out, actually. So it's really nice. Every time I sort of look at this cushion, it makes me think of Lord of the Rings, the trilogy. Yeah, there we go. That's the only exciting thing I've got ready to show you that's here that's within reach. Oh, I could show you my light shade, actually. So that, I'm not going to go too close because it's a bit dusty. This lampshade I bought from a charity shop, and it was just an old-fashioned lampshade, you know, and I took all the material off and cleaned it up so that I was just left with the wire frame. And then I used silk, and I wrapped each of these struts round with silk, and then I made all the little granny squares out of silk, and then I just sort of attached them on. And in order to get this sort of shape right, I just added a couple of little bits either side on those ones to make the shape. It probably won't show in this light when it's lit up, but it does look rather pretty when it's lit up, and it sort of casts a pretty shadow on the wall. So yeah, not terribly exciting. I'm sorry, my life is so boring, isn't it? My life is really boring. That's all, really. That's all we're up to just now. I've got Bear's just come and sort of sat at my feet. Lily's just come and look at me, haven't you? Looking at me, Lily? Yeah. But other than that, not much going on. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Right. 3 things. You'll be very pleased to hear, I'm sure, that I have cheered myself up and I'm not feeling quite as grumpy as I was. I've also had a nap, which is why my hair is all over the place, and that seemed to solve an awful lot of problems. Second thing, you know, have you ever seen the Hue Shift Afghan? That one. Let me just show you the big picture. Always wanted to knit this. Well, currently, let me just show you. Look, this is it's a printout, so it's not great, but 2 colours combined, mitered squares, and you get this wonderful, wonderful shift. Well, it's currently free. Seriously, if you go to the Knit Picks website, you can download the pattern for free. I think you have to sign up for like a email subscription or something, but you can get the pattern for free. The offer ends tomorrow, so do it today. I'm going to post this today, so you can do it today. Secondly, after having my grumble about the yoke sweater that I want to do with my Aldi yarn, which is this lovely colour here that you can't really see because I'm in a bit odd light at the moment, but it's a really lovely sort of bluey lilac colour. Yeah, and I wanted to do the Penrose Knits chunky souffle pattern, and I couldn't because it's chunky, and it kind of gives it away in the name, doesn't it, really? And so I couldn't use the yarn I wanted because that yarn is Aran. So I went on to Ravelry, and I was just going to look for a yoked sweater which I could sort of add a frill to in the same way that the souffle one does. And look what I found. Hang on, show you the picture. It is, I hope that's really clear, that's clear, not terribly, but it's a drops design pattern with a yoke and a frill added on. And actually I really like that frill because it's not quite as frilly as the one on the souffle. So because I was sort of feeling a little bit bad about thinking, hang on a minute, I'm going to take a design idea that Laura from Penrose Knits had come up with, and I'm basically going to sort of make my own version without buying her pattern. So I did sort of think, I feel a bit bad about that. That would be feels a bit wrong. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pattern that already exists and is there and is free. So I'm really chuffed about that. So yeah, so there's my 3 things. I'm less grumpy. You can get the Hue Shift pattern for free on the Knit Picks website, knitpicks.com, and I've now got my yoked sweater with the frill pattern that I can knit. So all is now right with the world. Bye.